Hey there, this is Peyton here with Profit Daylight. On this video, I want to continue talking about sections inside of Elementor. So as you can recall, a website is made out of different sections. So I'm here on this website is the CBS News website. And as you can see, they have this first section here. It's composed of video, which is showing them live right now on CBS News. If I touch there and unmute, I will hear them live giving their news or whatever reports they're giving. Then they have a couple other video boxes here, and the background of this section is black. Then they have another section here that has some latest news. And on the right side, it has other series of news, and on the bottom also. If we keep scrolling down, apparently this part is advertisements, because I was actually here on this website before and it had another ad. So this part is for advertisement. Then they have another section similar to the one above with a news. Let's say they put the image a little bigger. Then they have some other news on the side and on the bottom. They also have another place for ads. This one is of PayPal, and so on and so on. They have a more top stories section. I want to scroll down to a section that is a little bit different, because all these sections are a little bit alike. They have main news, and then they have some news on the right and some news on the bottom. Okay, so this is another section here. Say CBS This Morning, and it has, I guess it's going to be a video that comes up with something that they were, somebody they were interviewing or something like that. And at the bottom, they have other videos. And going down, they have another section here. So this is another section in red, background color red. And they have a video here and some smaller videos at the bottom. And basically, if I continue to scroll through the website, I will see similar sections. So basically what I want to say, a website is made out of different sections, and you can have the sections the way you wish. In this case, since they're on news, this is a news website. They have like featured videos or featured news or principal news, and then they have other smaller videos on the bottom, and so on. So that is only one of millions of websites. Like for example, this section here is a little different to others above. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, and the columns are world, US politics, entertainment, and they have news. Let's say a couple of lines of text with news for that segment. And as you continue, they have other elements here, like the other sections like the footer. So basically a website is made out of several segments. Now, if we go to this website here, if I want to create if I wanted to create a segment or a section, actually, not a segment, a section, the easiest way to create a section is just to take in an element from the left and drag it over here, and that will create a section for me. If I just touch the top of the section, it's going to give me the properties on the right, and I can just close down all the different segments underneath the layouts property, and it will give me several options for it. Now that's one of the ways that you can create a section. In this case, remember that I have the essential add-ons installed. If you do not have the essential add-ons plugin installed, you will not get these two parts, the one that says parallax and particles. As you can see, it says EA, that means essential add-ons. And if I touch it, it's gonna tell me that I should upgrade to essential add-ons. Basically, this says create stunning parallax effects on your site and blow everyone away, and as well uh, particles. It says EA particles, create stunning particles, effects on your site, and blow everyone away. So that is there because I have installed the essential add-ons. But really and truly, if you don't have uh, an add-ons or a plugin that add-ons elements to your website, you will only get these two: the layout and the structure. So again, that is one of the ways to create a segment. You can either just drag an element to the page builder and it will automatically create a segment for you, or you can come to the rectangular section underneath or has the plus sign that says add a new section, and you can add a section there. Just touch the plus sign and you will get a series of structures that you can select. If I select, for example, this one here, it's going to give me that same structure. So I have maybe, let's say, let me see how much is, I have this section. Okay, I believe I have about 30% or 33% on the left element side, and then 66% on the right element side. So I can obviously drag elements inside this section here. Now there is another way to create, and obviously I can change this by dragging the line to, or the divider to the right or to the left. I can say, for example, I want 50 and 50. So I don't have to stay stuck with what it provides me here when I come to the plus sign. This one, for example, it clearly says that the left element column is going to be wider than the right element column. If I select it, I can obviously see that the left element column is about 65%, 66%. The right element column is about 32%. So I can drag it to my left or to my right, and I can modify it the way I wish. So there's another way to create a segment, and that is to add templates. So if I come to this folder here, it's going to take me to the elements that Elementor has available. I have blocks, pages, and my templates, and I can add templates or blocks or segments from there. For example, if I come under the blocks, I can come to categories and I can just try to insert one of these blocks, which is basically a segment, and it will insert that block for me. Let's see how it works with the other one, which is the starter templates. I had already installed starter templates on this website as well. And the starter templates give or provides you a lot of ready-made templates that you can use. So if I click the starter templates, I can also come here to, it will give me pages and blocks available. So for example, if I come over the blocks, is basically segments. And I can just insert one of them. Let me just go ahead and insert, or I can, as I said, come over the pages and I can sort by the free ones. If I don't have the agency version, I can sort by free and I can insert one of the free ones. But let me just go ahead and try a block. So I'm just going to insert this one here. I'm just going to touch it and I'm going to import this block. And once the block is imported, I can make changes the way I wish. This is basically a very cool feature that Elementor has. It saves a lot of time. You can come here and just change it for whatever. My trip to Dubai, let's say. I've never gone to Dubai, but let's say I wanted to document my trip to Dubai. Let's say that was me. Or let's say I had other pictures of myself. I can come here and change pictures. I don't have any pictures on this website of myself. Let's say, for example, that let me see. Let me just put this one here. Is just make a change. So I can enter there, and I can, I can go modifying the different things that come up here. Like for example, this one is very cool. So as I can see, this is an image carousel. I was able to see it at the beginning, but now that I loaded it or I imported it, I can clearly see it's an image carousel. So I'm documenting my trip to Dubai. Maybe I want to have a couple of images here that I can change. So I can either remove that or I can modify it. So basically what I want to say is that uh, those are the ways that you will import or you will add sections inside of Elementor. Now, what I want to do here, just want to go through some of the features that this section is going to have. So as I said, I'm going to just go ahead and add a two pane or two column section here, and I'm going to review some of the settings here on the left. I'm going to go under layout. So again, I touch this section on the top, and by the way, there is a plus sign on the top of the section. Obviously, if I touch it, it's going to add a section. That's what it says it's going to do. It's going to add a section. And I can actually delete that. Let me just go ahead and add it here again. And you can edit a section by just touching it, or you can actually delete the section. So I'm working with the properties on the left. In this case, the ones underneath layout. So we're going to go through layout, we're going to go to style, and we're going to go to advanced. Now on the layout, we have layout and we have structure. Remember, I just showed you that parallax and particles are there because I have installed essential add-ons. So I come under layout, and it's basically giving me some options here, which I want to explain a little in depth. So content width, what content width is all about. Uh, I will have to add elements to my right. So let me just switch over to the other page that I was telling you about. This one here. This is a piece of page that I made, and it works the following. The content width has two options, box and full width. Let's say I wanted to, right now it's set for box. I could set it for full width. You're probably not going to see a difference because this other option here, stretch section, works together with content width. So if I turn on stretch section, I can probably see a change on this content width option. Whenever I select full width, in theory, the content that is inside this section should stretch or should go full width inside of that element or inside of that section actually. So let me just go ahead and touch full width, and there you go. So it stretches, or it takes the whole size of this section. Okay, so if I select box, for example, I can modify the size of the box that I want. You can actually play with the settings. You can do the same by importing a template, either if you have the starter templates installed or if you have the Elementor templates, you can add a segment and you can just come here and start to play with the options underneath layout. As you can see, I can either increase or decrease the size of the box. So I'm not going to go through that. I'm just going to come here and delete this number here. Now column gaps, let me explain it the following way. Inside this section, I have two columns. Inside the first column, I have an element on the top, and then I have another element on the bottom, which is an intersection. So here is the intersection, and here is the button inside of the intersection. I'm going to select the button, and I'm going to go over to, let me see, it's going to be under advanced, background, and I'm going to change the color. So let's put that color, a black color, and I'm going to do the same with the other button. So I select the button, I come over to advanced, and I go down to background, and I am going to select a color, a different color. Now I am going to touch the intersection, and I'm back to the properties of that intersection I was trying to talk about the column gap. The default option is default, but I can change it to no gap, and that is what's going to happen. If I change it over to default again, so it adds a space between the elements. If I put no gap, there's no gap between the elements. If I put narrow, it's a narrow edge around the elements. If I put extended, it's a wider edge around the elements. If I put wider, and you can see how it works. So let me just go ahead and leave it by default. Okay, let's continue with the exercise that we're doing here. So we are underneath the layout tab, and now height. So what height is, you can fit this to screen. You can have a minimum height, and you can change it here. So these are features that you can, these are features that you have for the elements that you have added to your page builder. So I'm going to leave it as default. Vertical align. What this is going to do, like for example, here on the right, on the section has two parts, left and a right part. I have a header and I have a text, but these are not set. These are not in the middle. So if I want them to be in the middle of the section, I'll have to touch the section, not touch the element, touch the section, and which says vertical align. I can just send it to the middle, or I can actually put it on the bottom if I wanted. Oh, I'm sorry, on the top or on the bottom. So those are the options that you can play with under vertical align. Overflow basically should hide some of the information inside of the section. Now, I wanted to come back over to this option here, which is stretch section. I want to show you something here. I'm going to just save this page. I'm going to save draft, and I'm going to go back to the same page. So on the basic editor, if I come over to my right-hand side, I have some settings on my theme. I don't know which theme you're using. In this case, I'm using the Astra theme on this website. So there are several options here under content layout. I have it set to customizer settings because I believe it's the best option. But I wanted to explain a little bit the other options. For example, if I put boxed and I save this draft and I go back to edit with Elementor, you will see the difference now. So as you can see, I selected box for that feature under the regular editor, and I turned off the stretch section, and the element is contained within a box. I can actually override that by stretching the section. Like if I stretch the section, it's going to just stretch it full width. And let me undo that, and let's select preview or preview page, and that is what it looks like. Again, that is when I selected box under my Astra settings on the basic editor. If I wanted to change that, I can just touch the stretch section, and I'm going to view or preview the page again, and it stretches the section to cover the whole website. And obviously now this other option here, box, will eliminate, the box option will eliminate this ugly empty green space on the left and on the right. So I'm going to come back here, and instead of box, I'm going to put full width, and I'm going to preview my changes again, and there you go. So basically what I'm trying to say is that this option here in my case, and I'm just going to exit out from here, and I'm going to not save it. I'm going to come back to the basic editor of WordPress, not the Elementor editor, the basic editor. And what I'm going to do is I am going to select customizer setting. I believe that's the easiest or the best option. Just keep in mind that this option here, stretch section, is for you to stretch the section full width. Right, so that covers the things underneath layout, HTML tag. We're not going to go into that one yet. And structure is pretty obvious. I can, right now I have 50 and 50, but I can put it to 33 and 66 or 66 and 33. So underneath the structure drop down, I can obviously change the structure of the section however I want. Now let's continue with other things. Now let's continue here underneath this tile properties. Underneath this tile tab, I have several options. I have background, background overlay, border, shape divider, and typography. So let's start with background. So the background is pretty straightforward. You can have a background type of a color. Let me just go ahead and change the color here. And it did not change it completely because I had previously configured this section to have a background overlay with 2 colors there. So I'll have to eliminate this color and eliminate this other color here. Okay, I'm going back into it. I'll have to, I was underneath background overlay. I will have to eliminate the colors that I had previously selected there. And then underneath the background it's now going to have the color that I chose or I selected. In this case, you want to change it to blue, or whatever color that I wanted to have it set for. I can also select a gradient color. It gives me the option to select 2 colors. And you can play on with the options there. It also gives me an option to set a video background. So let me see how that works. What I'm going to do, I'm going to select this video here. I already had a video. Well, actually, let me just go ahead and select a new video. I'm just going to go ahead and open up YouTube and just grab any video that comes up there. Let me just go ahead and how LeBron James spent 450 million. Let me just go ahead and choose that video here and share. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to come back over to my Elementor page builder. I'm underneath background and I want to select a video background. I want to see how that works. So where it says video link. So I'm going to insert the link here. I just put the cursor and I'm just going to paste it there. And there you go. So that's the same video that I have here. It's the same video where it shows LeBron's cars. It's a pretty cool feature. All right, so I'm going to eliminate that. And I can set a start time, end time, and other options here. Let me just go ahead and eliminate that. And I can have a slideshow as well. I can add several images. So let me just go ahead and select some images here and create a new gallery, insert gallery. And now my background type is several images, and I can set it for infinite loop. not infinite loop, duration of each slide, the transition, how the transition is going to be. If it's going to be fade or slide to the right. Let's see how that works. Okay, slide to the left. Obviously, it's going to slide to the other side. Let me just put slide down. Let's see how it works. Okay, so I can eliminate that if I want. I can just touch the garbage there, reset gallery, delete, and I get over it. And again, those are some of the options underneath background. I have background overlay. I had already done that on a previous video. I can, let's say for example, I don't want any background color here. I want to eliminate this. And actually, if I come to the color, I click on the color and this is going to open up here. Let me just do it again so you can see. So underneath background, I opened it, color, I touched the color, and this is going to come up now, and I just hit clear. It's going to clear the color that I have there. So I'm going to close down background. I'm going to come to background overlay, and I can, again, either choose a classic or a gradient, and it's just want to give me options to insert colors. I can even insert an image as a background. So let me just put somebody here as a background. Let me just put this as a background, insert media, and there is my background. So there you go. That's probably what I wanted. I wanted that the size will be in the whole section. So here in size, if I select the default, it's just going to repeat it several times. So you'll have to play up with the options here to get whatever you want. Contain, it just puts it one time. And opacity, I can put it to 1 or to 0. As you can see, it gets, there's a little background effect. So those are some of the options you can play up with here underneath background overlay. Or if you choose, you can obviously select 2 colors or gradient. You can play up with the options there. You can follow other videos that I was working on this piece of page on another video. So let me just go down to border now, and we did cover border in other videos. This section has a border. It has a solid border. I had done that on the video that I just spoke about that I did earlier. I can put a double border here. As you can see, it changes. Let me just put some width so that you can see that this changed. So I have a double border now. I have a dash border now, and I have a grove border now. I have a solid border. Okay, I have no border now. I can easily remove these numbers by touching one of them. Once this padlock is closed down, and I know it's closed down because it's gray, now it's open, and I can individually select the numbers I want. Let's say I'm changing the left width individually, and I'm changing the bottom width individually. But let's say I didn't want to do that. I will just close down my padlock or the link that is there, and I can select any one of the values and touch the space bar, and it's going to reset it or send it down to 0 completely. So let me just remove the solid border, and I can also select a border shadow. You can go ahead and do that. Then let's come down here to this other one, shape divider. Let me show you exactly what a divider looks like. But if I come here to type, says clouds, and I can choose whatever I want, none, mountains. Let me just go ahead and select clouds. Now, I'm just going to put a color on that cloud. Okay, so I did modify here. I'm putting a hate, so it does show me the change when I bring it up. Let me put mountain or maybe zigzag. I'll have to come and modify the height here. But let me show you exactly what this divider is all about, because it's a pretty cool feature. Let me just come back here and I'm going to import a template. So by importing a template, let me just come down here and see which one suits me so that I can show you better what that divider is all about. So if I come here, for example, this Dental Classic template, it has a rounded divider. If I touch it and import the template, it says that it's importing the template. Okay, so if I come to my section, I'm going to touch the section here on the top, and I am going to come over the style, and I'm going to come to shape divider. If I come to the bottom, I will see that it's curved. The type is curved. Let's change that to mountains. Now let's change that to cloud. So as you can see, let me actually put it back to what it was. So underneath style, background, shape divider, bottom, and it was set to curve, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, it was set to curve. So that is actually is only a style that you can have on a website. And again, from these templates that are here, from all these templates that are here, as you can see, this one had a shape at the bottom of it. So it's just a style. All right, so let's continue here with the other options under. Let's continue here with the other options. Shape divider and typography. Well, typography is pretty obvious. You can change the heading color, text color, and all of that for the entire, for all the elements inside of this section. So let me just see if I come over to primary changes that you can make here. Let me undo that. So there you go, link hover color. This button here, if I touch the properties of this button, it is actually a link because it's going to take me to another page. So what I'm saying here underneath the style and the typography, I can set my links that when I hover over it, it changes the color to something else I want. So again, those are options that you can manually select. So let me just go to the final tab here. That's going to be the advanced tab. And under advanced, we have a bunch of other options here. We're not going to cover all of them, but we have the obvious ones under advanced. We can change the margin, the pattern, and so on, so on. Like by touching the section, I can modify margin. You can check the video where I spoke about margins and patterns earlier. I'm just going to undo that. I'm just going to undo the margin and pattern. I did talk about pattern on that video as well. It adds empty space around the elements. Let me go down to, well, motion effects is going to be another class actually, how to add motion effects. Responsive, if you want to have your page looking a certain way on a mobile device or on a tablet device, then you can actually turn it on off here. For example, hide on desktop. If you want this section to come up on the desktop, you can hide it, or you can decide that you want this section to be hidden on a tablet, or you can decide that you want it to be hidden on a mobile device. And there are other options here that we will see in the future about reverse columns. That is for when you have you're almost done with your website and you want to ensure that it looks well on a mobile device. Sometimes the way it looks on the desktop is not the same way that how it looks on the mobile device. So you will come over to this responsive tab and you will select the section that you want, and you will reverse it on a tablet or on a mobile device. We'll see that later. Attributes, we're not going to see anything about attributes. Actually, that's an option that will require me to go pro, and custom CSS, we're not going to see anything about custom CSS either. So that's a pro feature. So that is all there is to it on this video. I know it's a pretty long video, but I just wanted to cover some of the features underneath section, how section works. My recommendation for you would be to do the following: to just create a new page under Elementor and just enter elements into the page builder, or if you have the starter templates installed, just go ahead and add blocks or pages and manually modify the different things that you get for them. Or you can even, like for example, on this one, I inserted this this page. What I can do to learn more about each section is just clicking on the section, and I can come and see exactly what the setting is. Like for example, if it has a border, well, I see that it has a border set to 1 on the bottom, so I will probably change that to see what is the change, what happens when I change it to something else. That's one of the things that I will actually do to play around with the different options that come under the section. So that's all there is to it on this video. I have covered about sections in Elementor. I hope this video has been informative. If it has been so, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up. You can leave a comment in the bottom. I will appreciate that. I'll continue posting more videos about Elementor. I want to appreciate you for your time, and have a wonderful day.